Hello everyone, I am Nundo the Second and today we are here for a tutorial video of Ultimate Racing 2D 2 and it's gonna be a tutorial video about AI lines. Yes, I am finally doing it after few people have asked me throughout time when I was in this server and yeah, some people want to know how to make AI lines and I'm finally doing it, as by the time that I'm making this video I have some AI lines to do for some tracks because of the Ls and stuff. And the track that I've chosen has been Mid Ohio, which is one of them. And yeah, it's also a small one, so I guess it will not really make the tutorial that long. And yeah, so let's go. First thing to do before even entering the track editor is to this obviously depends if it's your track or not, and if it's not your track then you have to make a copy of the track. Of course, you really have no choice here. uh, then go to track images and make a copy of all of the images of the track. So the track image, the preview, the track preview, the grass, and maybe even the gravel. And yeah, in the past you usually would have to also make the minimap one, and I guess you can still do it just in case. But yeah, nowadays with an update where usually only the main track gets into the minimap, uh, I guess it's not really needed to copy it, but usually I do it just in case. Yes, so you copy those images and put it wherever you want. It could be the images folder or the documents or something like that, and yeah, just put it there. So yeah, then you have to name the track as well. In this case, I usually name it Mid Ohio AI, and that's it. And and yeah, then we go into the track editor and you can start doing AI lines. So yeah, usually I start obviously with the racing line, and sometimes one thing that I will do is to remove some dots that I think that might be useless. In this case, it doesn't seem to be that many, as yeah, usually journey is kind of very conservative with the dots, which is cool. But yeah, I'd say I actually prefer having a lot of dots than having very few dots. Sometimes that makes things a bit complicated, but either way, let's then start. One thing that is very crucial with when making AI lines is to make them smooth. As you can see, I have to probably not sure how this is gonna look like in the recording, because you might not really be able to see the lines, which is funny because of how shit the quality of my videos is. But yeah, one of the things that I usually focus on when making AI lines is to make them smooth. It is something that is very crucial. It's something that always carries with every single AI lines that I make. And yeah, essentially is one of the ways of doing it is by making these arcs, as you can see, this turn like as large as you can possibly make them. Because yeah, that's really is what essentially with the larger turn line, what you're doing is to make the AI sometimes break early and break less, because the AI breaks in function on how much they are turning. They cannot really break in the straights, for example, and so you really have to know how to make the turns. And the best way essentially is by making them smooth. Make them turn like earlier or something like that. If you want to make them slower, then you have to put AI here, put this thing here, and you can make them a lot slower if you want. Yeah, well, usually another thing I don't really care. It's if these lines end up coinciding with the overtaking line. I really do not care about that, to be honest. Although sometimes I do try to make the overthinking line a bit different. And also I usually make AI lines based on the Formula 8 cars because of the size mostly. Because when you make it for smaller cars, then it does not work for bigger cars because the AI just keeps on getting into the grass. So yeah, let's make this very smooth. It's something that I really try make this arc as long as possible, so the AI just sort of breaks longer, breaks less as well, and therefore they become faster. Also, we have to make sure that AI uses all of the track in this case. Uh, yeah, usually the line is it's usually the same for all of the turns. It's you start on the outside, enter on the inside on the mid turn, and then they go back to the outside. It's that simple. Basically, that's the rule for most of the turns. Here it's going to be a little bit different, but we get there. And so yeah, let's then go into the next turn. Here we can get rid of this one. It's usually with the dots. Usually you just need one for the beginning of the turn and another one for the end of the turn. But yeah, usually I would recommend to save the track before you delete, because sometimes it crashes. Like sometimes the game crashes, or sometimes it might you might regret deleting that dot. So it's always better to save before you delete anything. This is actually applies to everything in the track editor. If you want to delete something, make sure to always like save the track first. It's for the good. Otherwise you might lose some work, or because there's no rewind button. And yeah, here for the hairpins, make sure that these two things are like aligned, and these dots as well are the knots or something, that these things are also aligned. Another thing it's very crucial to have in mind when it comes to sometimes like hairpins and more tighter turns, that sometimes AI sort of tends to go too much to the inside, and sometimes here they might be touching the grass and losing some speed because of it. So there is something to have in mind. It can happen with this sort of larger hairpin, so yeah, I'm kinda here just trying to not make it too much to the inside. But in the end we can like test it and see if it's good, or if you can put in more on the inside and things like that. And then here we can just go make the AI go through here in this turn, and then make him go to this part here. So there, once again outside, inside, and then outside again. That's how it works. It's nothing special really. And yeah, we can make it maybe here. We don't need to go too much further, and we can delete this one here, because it's kind of like a large chicane thingy here. I guess I can already, and I guess I'm already ignoring what I just said about saving the track first. And I think this is what we need. We get there later on. Either way, let's go here. Yeah, we can, I guess, do something like this. Need to sort of decide where to put this one. But yeah, once again, it's all about making the AI smooth. For this type of turns, usually I just need one on this part at the beginning, this one in the middle, then this one in the end. For chicane, this is not exactly a chicane, but it kind of counts as one. But I guess in real life this will be two separate turns, but yeah, here it's certainly not. And yeah, here it gets a little bit complicated when it comes to the line, but usually from the experience that I have in this game, the best is to really just maybe go a bit to the outside. Here doesn't need to be exactly here, make it a bit more like around here, because you also want some speed from this part. And yeah, let's then do something like this. It's actually where it gets complicated. Maybe this is the part where you would actually need to drive the track. This is something I usually don't do. At some point I kind of learn how to make AI lines without having to drive the track first, because the turns are like the same. Usually it's the same, like it's all about being on the outside before the turn, then be on the inside during the turn, and then make the exits towards the outside. That's how you use the space of the track properly. And yeah, we can do something like this. And yeah, it goes something around here, and yeah, I guess this should work. And yeah, if you want to drive the track or see if there's any world record on this track to see how it drives, you can do it. Maybe someone like Corvid has made some laps, because yeah, Corvid is usually you find him everywhere when it comes to time trial, to be honest. And I guess we can also delete these dots. I don't think we're gonna need it, because we can make all of this into just one turn and do something like this. And yeah, maybe we could make the AI go a bit more to the outside here, so they can sort of open up here and just be a bit more to the outside, so they can go carry the speed a bit more maybe. Or they can also do here, like put them a bit to the inside. And yeah, let's do something like this, and then this, and it should work. Also, don't be afraid of putting this line here close to the curve, because the curve has some space and all of that. And yeah, one thing else you need to have in mind is that in some turns the AI might be a bit to the outside, but it depends a lot in some of the turns. And yeah, let's then do the rest. I guess we might have some lines that we could delete. I need to see which ones exactly. And yeah, we will get there. I'm already thinking about this, but yeah, maybe this tutorial is not really being the clearest of all of them, but we will get to the end eventually. Alright, so I guess we could delete this one, either one of these two. And yeah, let's go then. Because this is why, like, with less dots you're just able to make things a lot more smoother. Because once again, those arcs, let's say the turning arc, are like a lot larger than and yeah, also by making them larger, you're essentially making the AI braking earlier, which is good. Usually that's how a player also becomes faster, is by doing things earlier, like turning early to the turns, and turning braking earlier as well, and all of that. And yeah, here I guess we can go towards the middle, as we can then make the overtaking lines around this. Also here we have to be careful with this end, so the AI is not touching the grass there. And I guess this works. Yeah. Actually, a very complicated part, not gonna lie. Because it's like a double, like, chicane here. Double chicanery. Alright, we can go with something like this. I guess it works. So yeah, the AI just sort of doing a continuous line and all of that, just being like very smooth with it. And yeah, this part actually, Jesus Christ, what the fuck is this? Actually a very weird track, not gonna lie. I wonder if I can even save this in the end, because it would be cool, like, to see him, if you guys could see me like testing the track and all of that would be very useful. But yeah, I guess something like this could work. Oh, here we have to, yeah, it's actually tricky part here, make him go to the inside. And I believe this is the part where you can easily carry all the speed without needing to brake. But yeah, maybe we do something like this to make sure that they don't go to the grass on this area. A bit crucial here. Yeah, usually I don't like the curveless turns, kinda harder to make them precise. But I guess we can do something like this, should work. And yeah, I guess we can do something like this. Maybe a bit more to the inside, try and hit that curve nicely on that part. And I guess for the racing line is sort of done. This part is gonna be weird. Maybe we can also play with this thing here, like then make them go a bit to the inside on this part, and then here sort of open up. I'm not sure. Or I could make the opposite. Yeah, because these curves are so weird. They look very useless. Not gonna lie, I guess we can go. Maybe make the turn and end here. Which, yeah, it's kind of hard these turns sometimes to figure it out. But yeah, we can play around with something like this. I imagine the best would be to just sort of try to carry speed beyond inside, because it's like a large turn at the end. And yeah, here it's just simple. It's just, since it's a very fast turn, I'm pretty sure you would be able to just stay on this part to then be able to, you know, open up the entry on this part and just carry as much speed as possible, and then just do something like this. And yeah, I guess we can stay with something like this. And okay, this is where, okay, let's save this. Usually when you see something like this, the best thing I like to do is just remove this thing and add again. So now it's properly connected. It's not two dots, it's only one. And yeah, that's one of the things that I do. And yeah, this is kind of tricky. One of those things that I like to do usually with the main straight at least is to have like all of the free lines like in all of them in their place, at least at some point, usually because of the restarts. But I guess here it might not really be possible, and it might be actually the first time I ever do this, which is a bit painful. But yeah, I'm gonna try maybe something like this to see if I can get away with it. I believe, oh my god, like here I kind of mess up again. There's something as well we need to be careful, is when you're changing these parts on the exit, might really mess up the line that you made before. And this turn I still find it very weird, not gonna lie. It's a very awkward turn. I don't really haven't really done the A lines like this. And yeah, I guess it's gonna be something like this. It's gonna be awkward at the start because you're gonna have a lot of cars concentrated on this part, while having a few on this. But I guess it's gonna have to be like that. And yeah, it does really seem like everything done in Ohio does seem to be out of this world. And yeah, alright. Alright, so I guess we got the racing line done. And that means that we can go to, but I wonder here, let's just, I think we can go a bit to the outside. That's kind of how I made it for Singapore, but I guess we can do this. I have to sort of imagine how we could make this but yeah, kind of a headache. Maybe I did not really choose the best track. I'll be honest, having complicated challenges in the tutorial is kind of good, so you guys know what to do in a similar situation. As yeah, right, I think it's fine. Here I need to watch out to see if if the AI is not gonna be touching the grass here, because otherwise I would really make this line a lot more to the inside. But yeah, I wonder here maybe could do something like this. Usually this type of turn is very awkward when it's do something like this, like two turns, one like in the diagonal, then we have a 90-degree turn right next. It's usually where things get a bit awkward, because I like to make them smooth, and usually the player could maybe easily be on inside and still somehow go to the outside and then inside, but with the AI lines it's a bit different, and I'd rather not make the AI do that. Yeah, you have to kind of think that AI is like a train, and the AI line it's like the what it's called, you know, that thing that's basically the train uses to move, you know, the tracks, I guess. And yeah, I guess it can stay like this, the racing line. Alright, so let's then go to the racing lines. Let's start with the blue one. And yeah, things are pretty simple. here okay, kind of just sort of copy around the racing line, but yeah, since this one is on the outside, we can do something like this. It does not need to be something like this. This is, I think, the mistake that I've seen some people, especially those that simply do not edit to the overtaking lines. But yeah, one of the reasons why I think it's essential is so we can do something like this. Just put this line a bit more to the inside, because there's a lot of space, even though there's a lot of space, but you kind of want to keep the overtaking lines also fast, so AI doesn't end up doing too many like awkward lines when overtaking and all of that. So that's one of the things that is very crucial. But yeah, now this overtaking line is going to be on the inside for the next turn. And here, let's save the track again before deleting something. Holy shit. Also, be very careful, because when you press the delete button, for some reason it will select a lot of dots, so you have to click edit and then click someone else so that thing disappears. So we press delete again, it's just gonna delete whatever part you select. Alright, so either way, this turn is on inside. And usually one thing that I do, it's not put this line too much on the inside and do something like this. No, what I do is this. Instead I move this one a bit to the outside, sort of try to keep the same distance to this line like all of the time, except here because it's kind of impossible. But yeah, sometimes I might do something like this as well, just put this one slightly to the outside. So it might make the overtaking on the outside easier for the AI, because usually this is a place where I don't expect AI to overtake. I don't really expect AI to be able to use this line and be successful with an overtake there. So yeah, right, then here we can do something like this, and this is usually the line where I could see the AI just sort of be too much to the inside and just sort of touch the grass. Sometimes it does happen, but yeah, once again, the rule is very simple. We just sort of put AI a bit to the outside, and enough so that they don't get like blocked by the AI on the racing line. And yeah, it's very simple. And here we can make them go a bit to the outside, because that's something that they always gonna do usually. And if you make them too much enter exit too much on the inside, then they might just brake way too much and not be able to really complete the overtake. So it's better to just go a bit to the outside and then make them go back to their own line, I guess. And yeah, here we do something like this. Nothing special. Make sure that they give some space. And yeah, then here we put this AI line here. I guess one thing you could do would be to be the distance, like the middle between the racing line and the edge of the track, but usually I kind of push a little bit, so I try to keep the same distance between all of the AI drivers. And yeah, I guess here we might have to go a bit to the outside first, because this turn is going to be an awkward one. We might see this AI line just sort of, or the AI on this overtaking line just go a bit too much deep, and then make this turn like very awkwardly. So yeah, maybe you can also just not be afraid and make a little cross here, and yeah, not go too overboard. There's some people who like to make the AI making switchbacks, but it's kind of useless, because that only works when the AI is like going defensive. But the thing is that AI here never goes defensive, so because you know that the best defense is just using the racing line and just pretend that no one is going side by side. That's the defensive tactic that AI likes to use. So yeah, here we delete, and yeah, then we go, the AI go towards the outside here. Yes, usually in the past I would sort of make the AI like something like this, but yeah, this will just cause them to go too much off the track and mess up the turn and just not be able to overtake at all. So here, there are some turns where I really kind of make AI all of the lines all the same, because it's gonna be hard for them to overtake either way. And yeah, I guess we can do something like this. Because yeah, one of the things that I expect is to see this AI line sort of make the overtake, but still be on this overtaking line for some turns. So we kind of have to try and make them be able to do the turn well enough to keep the position in a way. Although if they cannot make it, then they're just gonna be behind, so they're not never gonna be like side by side here on this part, and potentially might be able to overtake here, but it's gonna be hard actually. But yeah, still I make the like this line different, and here just something like this. And maybe the AI can actually overtake here because they're opening the line a bit more, so they might be a bit faster on the exit and then just be able to block this AI line here. That's kind of how it happens with Kado's Hawk, with my eye lines on the final hairpin. As the racing line that goes a bit to the they exit a bit to the inside, because then they need to be on the outside for the final two turns, and sometimes we see the AI taking advantage of that. It's kind of hard to explain without showing how it looks like. But yeah, here we can maybe make them a bit to the inside, because there's a lot of space on this part. Yeah, we cannot try to smooth things out. Here we just extend. Sort of extend. And we can maybe go them a bit to the outside to sort of be a little bit faster. So they don't, because it's something like this, what's gonna happen that this line, the AI on this line will just go wide, break more like deeper, not be able to complete the move as they desperately try to be on this line. So yeah, yeah, they go. So we do something like this, just put them a bit to the outside, and then slowly they'll return to their own side. Because then soon they're going to be changing. If they make the overtaking successfully, then they're just going to change to the racing line. So yeah, here we can keep these two lines, I guess. It's fine. We can put this one at the back to smooth things out. Here also put this node here. Be careful to not do anything like this. Sometimes you might create some chaos or some weird things like this. So yeah, just avoid that. And yeah, here we need to be careful with these. Sometimes something like this can happen, although don't make it too big of an overlap. Or just make it like this, just match the two lines in here. And yeah, for me it's all about the speed usually. Make the racing line a fast one, and even the overtaking lines as fast as possible, so things with overtaking don't become awkward. Because yeah, sometimes the AI will barely be able to keep themselves on track if you just keep the non-edited AI lines. That's the thing. And yeah, alright, so we do something like this. I don't really expect AI to be able to pass on this part, though I guess it might depend on the car, but yeah, I do expect something like this. Can maybe extend. I guess something like this could be done. And yeah, here it's gonna be around the same as the racing line. And yeah, I guess since we are doing a tighter line, sort of, we can keep this one. And yeah, we do maybe bring this dot here, and we go do something like this. Um, okay, let's save again. Constantly saving because I'm afraid of the game crashing when deleting something. Because it had happened before, like deleting some dots from the AI lines, the game just randomly crashes and it's a pain. And sometimes it happens a lot with some specific tracks. For instance, I never made the AI lines on Carlos Correa because of this. Like, I never was able to do anything because after deleting the first dot, it would always just crash the game, just randomly. And yeah, let's do something like this, and we can extend this one. I guess we do this one a bit to the outside. It's gonna be an awkward one. Yeah, I think this is the smoothest I can be on this part. Now I'm just thinking it's gonna be very awkward for whoever is here, because all of the lines are gonna be on this side. But but yeah. But I mean, it's only on lap 1 that really matters, so not really gonna worry that much about it. And it's usually one of the AI that you never really see, because usually you either focus on the front or the midfield. But either way, let's not put too much on the outside, because the AI will then be just touching the grass here. And yeah, I just need to check this part how it turned out. I guess this is fine. And yeah, looking kinda cool here. So I guess this works. Should be fine. Maybe here I could sort of make this tighter, just so they don't go sort of backwards by just going too much here. But I guess this works. Yeah, this should work. Should be fine. Right. So yeah, then we need to just do the third one, the third AI line, which is the red one, of course. And so yeah, here at the start, once again, it's the same rule. When it's on each side, instead of being here, you can, sort of open up the entry, and so they can still be on each side of whatever AI they want to overtake, and still do a fast line. But of course, the racing line is always going to be faster. And here we can. This doesn't need to be this big. Okay, we're gonna put it here. If you want, you can sometimes do something like this, just a little bit on the outside to maybe make the overtake around the outside maybe more possible, because usually it's gonna be hard, especially this hairpin. It's gonna be hard for them to overtake here. But yeah, also one of the reasons why I still make the line different is because of the blue flags, because AI still uses the overtaking lines as to let the other AI lap them, so that AI can just use the racing line normally. So yeah, it's a cool mechanic that this AI has. And yeah, right here, make sure that it's aligned, that these two knots are aligned and that these two dots are sort of aligned, so it makes like a perfect and symmetric arc. And yeah, so I guess something like this can put here. Once again, you don't need to have the AI here. You can just put him a bit more to the side. It's just sort of closer to the racing line. And yeah, here we can just put this line in here. Yeah, let's just do something like this. Can put this line here, then we extend the node. Yeah, usually I would, in the past I would do something kind of like this, but this will just sort of mess things up, so yeah, just gonna do something like this. I'm gonna sort of focus on this area right here. Although I believe it's always gonna be hard for the AI to overtake on this place, to be honest. Ah shit, I deleted the fucking wrong one, but no issues. We can just use this one. And then here we have to extend it again. Just sort of trying to do something like this. Yeah, usually when it comes to also big straights, one thing that I do is to make the racing line sort of go to the middle of the track, and then they go back to like the outside to then make the turn from here, then inside and outside. Yeah, usually I make the AI like sort of go to the middle in the middle of the big straight, because so that AI can have some like free ride moments and all of that. So also we don't have like too many cars in one line and then a few on the other line. Because like here, one of the big issues. Holy shit! What the hell's happening here? Let's fix that. Because like one of the issues that I have here is that it's gonna be too many like AI cars on this side and then just a few on this part. It's not gonna be like balanced in terms of the amount of cars. So usually one thing that I try to do, I guess I could maybe do it, is something like this. To sort of make them a bit more towards the inside, so there's still like maybe, especially for the start, I believe it's actually possible. Yeah, I think it might be actually possible. So I guess you can try it, yeah. And I guess, yeah, this works. So then the AI goes towards the outside on this part. There is something that I usually like to do on the start, at least. So there's like 3 different lines at the start, and yeah, then they go to business as usual. And yeah, so let's go this. It's the red line on this part, and yeah, sorry if this is a bit of a boring tutorial, but yeah, I guess you can watch this at 2 times speed. Probably it's something I would recommend. And I guess this works. You can do the same here, because I believe this AI line, if we do it like this, it would be touching the grass even like this, so it's better to maybe create some overlap so that the AI here can make this part without touching the grass. It's usually because of this part where things can go wrong a little bit. But for here it's different, for this AI line it's different, because it doesn't have the risk of touching this part, because it goes from more the outside. So yeah, that is why. Right here once again, usually I do this like before editing the lines. I just sort of delete all of the dots first, like before changing any of the lines. I just take care of that at the beginning, because usually I know which lines I will need. And you have some doubts where I will need it or not, I don't delete it, and maybe you just delete it later on. And And yeah, here we can do the same thing. Some overlap on this part. It's not gonna be too big. It's really not gonna cause any big issues having some overlap, because usually they're not gonna be really side by side here. So yeah, here the AI will decide like whoever takes the place on this part. So yeah, so we can go something like this. Maybe reduce this part or reduce this, make it smoother. Maybe here a bit more towards the outside. And this is why, for instance, I like making the racing line a bit towards the middle, so we can have like both overtaking lines in a different place, and it does open some overtaking opportunities for the AI. And yeah, it's gonna make this a bit more towards the outside. Now we do something like this. But it's always, yeah, so the best I think here is to make a bit of an angle where it does something like this, so it goes a bit to the outside and it quickly comes back to this part to a better entry to widen up the angle here. And yeah, okay, so there we go to this overtaking line again. And let's do this, save, see if there's any selected dots, and we can go right. Maybe we can put this one here and just extend and do something like this, and yeah, should work. Just to make sure that they're not going to be touching the grass on this part, and something like this should work well. And yeah, maybe might need one dot here to make it easier, because we have more dots here. Again, save it to check before deleting things. It's a very repetitive process, I know, but yeah, we can add them here so it gets properly connected. Right here can get a little bit awkward, so let's bring this dot towards here. And holy shit. Okay, think this should work well. Yeah, don't make the AI just go wide here. I think it's very useless. It's like suddenly the overthinking line is useless, so instead just bring it a bit closer to the racing line. And okay, here I might need some change, might need to make some adjustments here. Okay, it's awkward. I'm sort of working with 3 dots instead of just 2. Like this one in the middle kind of makes the turns a little bit sharper, which could make the AI slower, but I don't believe it will exactly make that in. Maybe it will. So I'm gonna delete this one. Actually, now that I see it close, but I don't think I like this, so I'll do something like this. Because this part is easily solvable, you can just extend if needed, so no big issues on this part. So yeah, here we just widen up these knots and we do something like this. Yeah, I could for instance make the AI like go do some weird like this, but then it will just mess up like the line, and they will never be able to make any overtakes, and instead they will just lose a position by just using this line. So there's something you want to avoid, is these places where AI will try to go for an overtake but always lose a position, or almost always. Sometimes it's cool when it happens, but it's gotta be like sometimes, it cannot be always. So yeah, be careful with that kind of stuff, and just sort of try to make this line sort of follow the racing line without too many big deviations in this case. So yeah, you can see if I usually it's about the angle. If the angle gets something like this, it's gonna be awkward. So make it sure that it follows like the same type of angle. Like keep it as parallel to the racing line as possible. That's one of the big things. So yeah, this is one of the things. It's to make this smooth, the racing line, making it smooth. If you want, can go a bit even further and just extend this part, and yeah, the AI will be turning nice and early, and probably this one will be one of the fastest turns for the AI. Usually they like these sort of 90-degree turns, and maybe the part they'll hate the most is gonna be here. It's where things can get awkward, but we will have to see. Maybe we can make this AI go a bit to the outside a bit more, and yeah, do the same here. It's a matter of testing. Like if in the testing it doesn't, if they go too much to the outside and touch this grass, then you can just change. But yeah, this is really just to widen up the angle for the entry, so they can enter a bit easily. And yeah, maybe something like this, so it gets easy for the AI, so they don't do any sort of awkward things. Yeah, I guess the same could happen for this line. And yeah, once again, some weird overlap that is to just avoid AI touching the grass in this area. Because sometimes even when it's like this, it looks fine, but then for some reason it ends up not being fine. I can tell that from experience. And yeah, just really doing some last checks here. Maybe here you can go a bit to the outside to really make sure it doesn't touch the grass here. Okay, yeah, sometimes I do things to avoid, like having to make the AI like again or make any adjustments. I kinda just try to make it good at first. Then yeah, I guess this will work. Oh wait, it's still, there's still this one missing. And yeah, this is gets workers. Once again, I could make the AI use the extra space here, but then it's gonna have a awkward angle for this part. So yeah, so we just sort of do something like this, because otherwise they always gonna mess up the line, and it's gonna be, they always gonna might just lose a position, and that is something that we want to avoid. Yeah, I guess we can delete this one, just like what we did with the blue line there. Yeah, here they can go towards the outside, or can't they? But maybe we can do something like this. So yeah, they still have a bit of a deviation here, but then here they're gonna have to reconnect. Maybe this is the minimum that I can make. Yeah, and then here they reconnect to the racing line. Need to see what's the best way of making this part. And once again, like there might be some angle here, it's not going to be totally parallel, but yeah, as long as it's not too much, it should be fine. Maybe here we can make it a bit like this to maybe make things a little bit smoother, and should be fine like this. What the hell is going on? Okay. I feel like I was seeing like a different red line, but no, it's just the overlapping with the green one. Yeah, maybe something like this could happen. Usually it's this sort of type of chicanes that can make things awkward, but it's a large one. They can easily do something like this and still like go flat out on this turn. So it's all fine if they have the line a bit different. They don't really need to be copying. And just short, because I'm trying to find like a compromise between making AI fast and still being able to give some space to the overtaking line. I'm being very nitpicky here. Nitpicky? Not sure what's the expression, or there's still this part. Yes, you can do something like this. It's gonna be awkward. Maybe I would need an extra dot here in the middle, but now it's a little bit too late for that. So we're gonna have to improvise with these two lines. Just make them go like wider and stuff. So yeah, I think this works. Should go something like this, yeah. Kind of afraid of this part, but I believe it will still be on track on this part, so yeah. Alright, so we got all the free lines done, but it's not finished yet, because there's still one thing missing, and that is the pit entry and the pit exit. We have to make AI sort of like connect their line when pitting to their racing line and all of that. So yeah, first thing I do is to go here to the valve path thing and go with auto skid marks, which, as you can see here, is gonna basically copy the racing line. It's exactly the same, and this will be crucial because I want to see where does the racing line goes by when connecting their pit line to the racing line. So yeah, for this we go to the pit line, we go to this, I guess this is the exit, and we connect now. You have to make sure that this dot is like in the middle of the skid mark so it connects properly. And yeah, just basically something like this. I guess it works. We could move things like this here, but then it messes up everything. Like suddenly it will mess up with like the image, because in this case I'm copying the track image because it's not my track, and because I also have problems with saving tracks, you know, with the image being on high quality. Usually it's going to be on low quality, which makes things a little bit like pixelated and stuff. So I cannot really afford to change to the pit exit, so I have to do something like this. There, we can save again, and then I like to go here and go auto skid marks again to see where this line goes through, and to see where does the sort of AI pit line ends. And yeah, maybe there's another actually I can change this. Fuck. I can actually change this and do something else. So delete, and we're gonna add this line here, actually. I need to see where is the... Okay. For cars with low acceleration, this is actually gonna be pain. I wonder if this is gonna mess up the... Maybe it shouldn't. I don't think it will, because AI is already like on the track. But like with cars that have like a low acceleration, it's gonna be, you're gonna see like AI being so freaking slow. But I think it's the proper way of doing things, instead of having the AI just sort of instantly block whoever is on this racing line. And this is basically how I think a player would be doing. And so yeah, once again, wall slash path and auto skid mark. So it's gonna do something weird like this. It's just a basically straight line and connects around here. And then we go and do the same with the pit entry. Oh, quick. Okay. And this one is gonna be an easy one. Or maybe not, because I kind of... Once again, it's where you see like the middle point. So it's here, we have to change. And then this guys, I'd like to just change this part. I mean, we can, if we want, we can actually change here. Because like then the image will keep the original pit lane and the grass image. This is one of the reasons why I always save the grass images, so I can afford to sort of move the pit line, but then that means we cannot really make that too many big deviations, because then the AI will be touching the grass in either the pit entry or the pit exit. So usually I just avoid trying to move things around here. And so yeah, I guess this is like this, and yeah, then we go here just to see how the line looks like. Auto skid mark, and yeah, it looks a bit weird. Okay, so let's try something like this. Auto skid mark, and it looks better. They just sort of make the perimeter, I guess, around the outside. And then the last thing to do, or one of the last things to do, is to go here, edit checkpoints, and edit these checkpoints here. AI go to pit right before the pit entry line, and this one you're gonna have to put it all the way down here where the pit exit line ends. And then I guess we can make some corrections with the checkpoints. Here we can extend. Kind of weird to see Gironi messing things up a little bit. And here I guess the finish line checkpoint is fine. Sometimes people make the mistake of doing something like this, and because they think that the checkpoint is like in the middle, but no, the checkpoint starts here where the purple starts. So we have to align. Let's load. It's gonna save all the progress was literally saved. I just literally saved the track before doing this. So yeah, you can see it's really how we have to make the finish line checkpoint, because sometimes people do that thing that I was saying, and sometimes the purple will be like before this grid slot, which means that whoever starts on pole like starts a lap behind, because they're not gonna touch because they're already ahead of the finish line checkpoint. Now that kind of happened before with some tracks, so yeah, there is just a little detail. And yeah, I guess we can check the other checkpoints. Oh my god, I was not expecting to see Gironi messing things up. And the thing is that this was a race in the IndyCar League. So yeah, kinda weird from Gironi, a bit disappointed. And yeah, AI stay on track, is in the right place. This checkpoint is for the case that AI wants to pit but they get blocked. And so, and usually when that happens, AI just gets stuck on the wall. So this check this checkpoint is here so that AI touches this checkpoint and they just return to the track and do another lap and then they pit. So it's just to avoid having AI being stuck on this wall. And yeah, another thing to check, I guess, it's the pit lane. It's in the right direction. If it was in the wrong direction, what would be happening would be that these two checkpoints would also be in the wrong direction, and what would happen is that AI would be able to pit, but they will only just drive through the pit lane. They would actually not go to the pit box, which is a weird thing, but yeah, that will be what will be happening. And yeah, that's it. We just make one final save, and then we save the track. Let's see if we can save or not. Because I'm like recording and it could crash, but seems like it's gonna work. And I guess it will, that's cool. Alright, let's just save. Because yeah, then what I will do would be to, you know, get back the images from the original track and then replace with the images that this track has right now. But that we can do it in the end. Let's just test this. I know I have the, it's gonna be the FI cars driving. If I may be invisible just to watch one car. Can put this on high to test the pits immediately. Maybe we can go with tire wear 10 to make AI pit instantly, because then we want to see how does AI pit. And yeah, let's watch AI racing. Yeah, let's just increase the this, and I guess they go a bit to the outside there. Maybe we can make some adjustments on that part. Okay, this is one of the parts I would like to see, and they kind of do it pretty well actually, so that's cool. This is the part where they seem to be slower, but I don't think that AI will be slow here. This is maybe the part where I would make some adjustments. That hairpin, I think they could go a bit to the inside. So I guess that's what we're gonna do. And yeah, I'm seeing that this video is getting a little bit long, but that's how it is. Track editor. Let's just quickly change that. I guess the overtaking line could sort of stay like this, because this also allows for this line to sort of carry more speed, and it sort of kind of makes a little push to whoever is on the racing line. Sometimes it's a necessary evil in order for the AI to overtake. And yeah, that's it. And then here they were, feel like they were kind of breaking too much. Yeah, because they can go a bit to the outside, can't they? Though I don't know, here we need to be careful because of the, like, with the lack of grip they might go too much to the outside. I don't really think that would really be the case. This part they do surprisingly well actually. I don't think they were really slow. or awkward, so it worked. That's cool. Here they sort of went slowly, but I don't know exactly how could I fix this. Maybe it's something like this. Maybe they could make them break less. I think this could actually work a little bit better. We can even go more extreme on this part and just and yeah, maybe like the braking, because I believe AI might brake harder and lighter sometimes. And yeah, I guess they should do it. Oh wait, now we need to also change this part. Or maybe do it this so they brake a bit later. That's one thing you can do, it's to make the like the curve start later on the overtaking line on each side so that AI brakes later. Kind of, it's a little bit like a, doesn't really need to look like a dive bomb, but it can kind of be like one. So they just send it on the inside. Can maybe do it a bit bigger here. And yeah, it should be something like this. Okay. Okay, let's save. It's gonna take a while. Could have literally just paused this part of the video. I don't know why I'm not doing that. I'm kind of just dumb. But thankfully I shoot a track with a very small map. To be honest, I feel like Johnny make the IndyCar tracks a little bit like small scaled. But yeah, let's test again. Testing is a very important thing. Maybe we don't need to make the tire wear too big. Maybe yeah, because we have the high damage, which inevitably will make the AI pit very soon into the race. So let's see again. Alright, it's working. They could maybe use space a little bit better, but not really necessary. Because these lines, I'm pretty sure they will still be fast. Okay. Oh. Shit. You just saw how they broke on that turn. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna press on the alt and pause for a little bit, just so you don't need to be. So yeah, since this is what I'm doing, I brought this dot a little bit to the back so they would start turning earlier and they should not break this time. So yeah, I guess we can save. Okay, we are back to the sim once again, just to see how it goes. And yeah, let's see how the AI does this time. Yeah, here it's not perfect, but I think if I would make AI turn a bit too much to the inside, it will be touching the grass there. So yeah, this part I think it worked pretty well. Really like how I make the AI there. And yeah, once again, they're not breaking on that part, so that's cool. So yeah, I think it's working now. Can maybe extend and or just zoom out a little bit and yeah. And if I wanted to make the AI even faster, I could, and I could also make some of the turns that as you can see, I could make AI be touching the curves. but the way it works, I think the way it is right now, it kind of works. You might even allow for some even bigger cars to be used on this track. And yeah, I guess let's then go for the race. Just to see how it goes with the racing here. And yeah, we need to have the names on because of the damage and all of that. Okay, they go side by side on this part. See, oh, no, okay, this is, there is a normal line. Okay, the line it took here, let's see now on each side there. Some cool racing happening actually. You can see how they don't really like pushing each other like in some of the turns. But yeah, now let's watch the AI that is damaged. Because this AI will be pitting right now. Yeah, I want to see how they go into the pits and how they leave. Okay, looks good. Yeah, let's see how they go to the pit exit. Right, so I guess it's it. Yeah, I think it's working. Yep, I think I'm happy with this. So yeah, I guess that's it for this episode. I think we have tested the AI enough to see what's going on, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with the results. And so yeah, this was the tutorial. I hope you guys like it. Hopefully it wasn't too boring, but you can always just watch this at 2x speed. And yeah, I guess see you next time. Maybe I'll do a part 2 with a completely different track so I can maybe cover different types of turns, but yeah, I'll see about that. But anyway, I hope this is what you have to remember, is to make them smooth, the turns, and you do that by making the AI like turning earlier and all of that, so we can like extend those nodes and all of that. And yeah, when it comes to the racing line, just use that very simple principle of you know, the outside, the inside, the outside, and all of that. So yeah, if you have some doubts or questions about how to, like, how does the ideal racing line looks like, you can just try and see if there's any goal record on this track and just see how does that person make the lines. But I'll make sure that that goal record is done by someone like Carly or someone like that. Because if it's a random player, the lines might not really be that good. And so yeah, that's it. So right, so yeah, I guess that's it, and I see you. I hope you guys like this video, and I see you the next time. Goodbye.